What's up, everybody? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day today. Uh, Real estate agents. If you've ever thought about being a real estate agent, and the different things that come along with being a real estate agent, I've had that thought myself, obviously, and I thought I'd call upon my friend John Young, who is going to answer some questions for us today about the real estate industry. So, John, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people out there.
Well, first off, thank you, Dan. My name is John Young. As you know, I'm the team leader of the Keller Williams Dulles Market Center. I've been the team leader there for just about 2.5 years, which is crazy. Time goes by quick. And prior to that, I was with NBR, new home sales, new home construction for 18 and a half years. So about 21 years total in the business so far.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
For people, what's that?
Showing my age.
You are showing your age. For people thinking about being a real estate agent, what kind of advice do you have? Obviously, COVID-19, we're in kind of a different world situation right now. If for people that are thinking about being a real estate agent, what kind of advice do you have for them in general?
I would say it's a great time to get into real estate, believe it or not. But you have to have the right reasons to get into it. If it's because you have a passion for helping others and building a business and building a brand and, really having the potential to build a business in real estate, then it's a great time. If you're an entrepreneur and this is one more thing you want to do, right? Or you saw an HGTV show and saw the commission or what have you, $1 million listings. It's not as easy as it looks. I have news for everyone: those shows are fake. So you have to have a passion, and you have to have the drive and willingness to do a lot of the less glamorous stuff that people see, and obviously you're experiencing now yourself.
Yep. How about qualities that, in our branch, there's a lot of really successful agents. What
Mm-hmm.
kinds of qualities do you see in those successful agents?
The one thing I see for the most part is they've had sales. They have the ability to sell. So to take a step back, really, when you look at the real estate industry, it's relatively easy to get in the business, right? You go through the testing process, you do your fingerprints, you get your license, and so that opens the door to a lot of people, which is great. Having said that, there's a lot of people that get in there that have never had sales experience. They've never they've never sold something. They've never had to persuade someone. They've never had to be a fiduciary to someone's business. And so again, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to do that, when I hear the word entrepreneur, I just think of someone that just hasn't really found what they're looking for, and they just, throw stuff up against the wall until it sticks. If that's what you're looking for here, you're probably not going to achieve what you want to. The people that you see that are doing well in our market center that you refer to, they all have a sales background. They're all training and learning based. In other words, they want all of the information and training and value that we provide them. No matter what it is, they make time to attend it, or they'll watch it later. They have that drive and passion. And I always say that is, we can teach you, we're the #1 training organization in the world, Keller Williams. So we can train you better than anybody. We cannot train drive. We cannot train passion. We cannot train integrity. You cannot do those. So if those people, empathy, which is a huge, right? They say empathy is the #1 characteristic of a great salesperson and a great leader. So if you possess those, you already have a leg up. If not, um, it could be difficult if you're not in the right ecosystem.
Let's take a look at the opposite end of the spectrum. There's a lot of real estate agents that probably aren't going to make it through COVID-19 because, it's a very commission-based job and they need to find something that's more steady, which is understandable. For people that don't make it in the industry, whether it's now or just in general, what qualities do you see in people that kind of fall off?
So I firmly believe that everyone has the opportunity um, um, to at least get some business. Okay, just through your friends, your family, your sphere of influence, if you've been trained properly. Um, to the ones that, again, what I see from my view are the ones that come in and they say they want the training, they want the coaching, they want the accountability. And then when you provide that, they're not maybe as open to it as they were when they said they were. So you have to be learning based. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, calling people, being in front of people. Um, uh, and if you don't have that, and it goes back to that passion again, if you call 20 people a day, say in your position as a real estate professional looking for new business, and 4 of them pick up, 5 of them pick up, and you have that conversation, that's pretty good. Well, that still means 15 people did not get back to you.
Right.
It's like baseball in a way, right?
Right.
300 gets you in the Hall of Fame. It's the same thing in real estate, where you have to be willing, and that's where it comes down to that drive and passion to do the stuff, the calling, the accountability is a huge part of it. Everybody says they want accountability until you give them accountability. So it's really critical. And what's really interesting is the same things that make a really great real estate professional are the same things that make someone who's not, in that they don't do the exact same things that someone who is successful does, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How about, there's Keller Williams. I'm a big fan of Keller Williams because of, like you mentioned, all the training and things that is offered. And that's what's a great thing about our branch is, and you're to commend about, for that, is all the different opportunities that we have to learn different things. Why Keller Williams? Why Keller Williams versus Century 21, Weichert, the million other, brands that people could go with?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that Keller Williams is the place for everybody, right? It's not. What I would say is if you're learning based, you really want that training, you really want the value proposition that Keller Williams provides, and the numbers tell the story. Meaning, look at our closed units, look at our volume. I mean, we're across the board generally number one in those. Then I think that that's something that you should that you should consider. If you're looking for somewhere where you're going to get 100% commission, you're going to have, really no accountability. You're just looking for a place to, hang a license. That's probably not, Keller Williams is probably the place for you. Whereas if you're someone who has a passion for real estate, wants to treat it as a business, in other words, having a profit and loss statement, being a business owner. I laugh because I hear of, everyone will tell you, I'm a business owner, I'm a business owner, I'm a business owner. Well, what does that really mean? I mean, do you have the actual characteristics of being the business owner? And then are you living up to those if you truly are a business owner? Okay. So I would say that you have to be very clear. There are other brokerages out there that are just fine. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And this is the other thing you have to remember too, is we're coming off of, up until really March of this past year, with obviously what's going on now, we were on the greatest 10-year run of real estate in recent memory. there are a lot of people that were propped up to look a lot better on paper than they really are. Um, to be fair, including Keller Williams, right? Well, what's going to happen when that market shifts? And, for anyone, I say this all the time, for anyone that's been in the market from 2012 and beyond, how many times have they had to go to a customer and talk about a price reduction? Not, well, we have 10 offers, which one are we taking?
Right.
And I don't want to say that it's been that easy the whole time, but it has been very, very, very good. And when this shift occurs, I mean, you can look at it now, and I'm not going to name names, but look at what other brokerages are doing. I mean, you're an agent in our market center where a lot of other brokerages make their money off of the fees that they charge people. What did we do to the fees in our market center for 3 months?
Reduce them.
Reduced them, right? A lot of brokerages, when they do that, that's one of their main sources of revenue. Okay, providing leads. We're not going to provide you leads. That's not, a lead is 7% effective, and I can go through the math of that later. But we're going to teach you how to be a fiduciary in your business and make growing your data bank something that you know how to do at a very high level. And I don't think it's a coincidence that when the last time the market shifted, Keller Williams market share went up, a lot. Okay. Other places closed the doors. And that's what we're in right now. That's what we are in right now. We are about to go through a shift. And, so I would ask people out there that are looking, would you rather be associated with the company that was formed and really the foundation of the company was set in a shifting real estate market in the early 80s, or would you and has the number one coaching and training organization within Keller Williams, has all of the tools that you need in your tool belt, or would you rather go somewhere that gives you 100% and they give you leads that probably will never come to fruition? And and I always tell people the reason they're giving you 100% is because they're not, why should they take anything? I mean, you're not on 100%, right? You have to pay Keller Williams for your first X amount of transactions. But would you rather have 8 transactions at X split, right? 70%, 80% split, or, 1 or 2 at 100% because you got no training. So right. Does that make sense? Is that fair?
And one of the things that I like about Keller Williams is, is kind of the family atmosphere. It's not like, I'm going to do it this way and no one else is going to really understand it. Everyone is very sharing and very open with what they do, because I feel like, and a lot of other agents have said this too, is there's room for everyone to be successful. And that's a mentality that I appreciate, and the culture there is something that I appreciate.
Well, the reality is, Dan, is not to cut you off, but the reality is 8 to 9% of the real estate professionals do 90 to 92% of the work. So how do you get yourself in that 8-9%, right? And there are certainly people that are in that 8-9% that are in other brokerages. Again, that you have to find the ecosystem that's comfortable for you, but there are other brokerages that, I mean, just look at it like this. If there are brokerages out there that, let's say you're at X company and you wanted to go to Keller Williams and join them, and you have 3 outstanding commissions, transactions that are in a close, and let's say your data bank that you've spent so much time building up, and you say you want to come to Keller Williams, they're going to keep that, some of them. They're going to keep, you're going to defer to a split if you were on 100%. Okay. They're going to keep all that data bank. Think of how much time you, Dan Harris, have spent building up your database, your data bank, and then they would keep that all. Keller Williams, it's the direct opposite. If you were to go from Keller Williams to that same company, you would keep it all. So we're a much more agent-centric company. Our CEO, Gary Keller, is the ultimate real estate agent. He still is a real estate agent. So it starts at the top and works its way all the way down.
Yeah, and you can sense that culture even just walking in the building or talking to people at the agency. So
Yeah.
I think that's something I really appreciate. Well, listen, we could talk all day about this, but I appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, John?
No, I would just say that there's always a great time to get into this business, this industry. Um, Again, if you're doing it because you're an entrepreneur and you want to try to do something else, you have to have a passion for it. You have to have the uphill habits that support the uphill goals that you have, and you have to have uh, everyone that knows you and loves you. They have to support you in it because it's hard getting started. It's hard. I mean, right? It's hard.
It is
But
hard.
once you get going and you start really feeding that data bank and learning the business and being that fiduciary that you are learning at a very high level, Dan, then it's like a domino. The hardest domino to get is the first one, and then after that, I can give you example of people that will go 6 months for their first transaction, and then over the next 6 months they get next 7 or 8, right? Because and that's part of what we teach you is leveraging those transactions, right? You know, think about the leverage division that we have set up in our market center with Murphy and Tina. You know, how much easier has that made your life, Dan?
Oh, it's great. It's a great service. Among so many great services offered at the branch, that is great. And again, it's kind of a team atmosphere and people helping people.
So my overall takeaway with that is you have to find the ecosystem. You have to first you have to find it within yourself that you want to do it. Then you have to find the ecosystem that you want to be a part of, and from there, you have to put in the hard work, and it's really that simple. And Keller Williams is the best opportunity for that. There's certainly others out there, but you have to find what fits you and your style the best.
Fair enough. Well, listen, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. And if anyone out there is thinking about being a real estate agent, hit up John Young at Keller Williams Realty Dallas. He will take good care of you and help you understand
And
all
if
the.
anyone's looking for a real estate agent, call Dan Harris, right?
There you go. There you go. Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
I appreciate your time.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.